Uh, the Baltimore Ravens this year, last year, we saw Flacco develop. They went into New England, won that playoff game. Offensively, they're a hardcore run, pretty much just run action offensive team. They had a lot of injuries in the defense last year, and the defense is still pretty solid. Just want to get you guys thoughts about the Bengals winning the North this year. Can Flacco going to take that next step at quarterback? They finally got some weapons. I think they got Bolden.
Yeah.
And they got your other boy. He's played for Browns, Dante Stallworth. I don't know if I want to call him a weapon though, but he is what he is.
Yeah.
And I liked what they did in the draft as well. Sergio Kendall. Who else did they get?
Who did they draft in the first round?
It was him in the first round, wasn't it? Did they take him in the first round?
No, he was. I think he was a second round pick.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just talk about get your thoughts about the Ravens, Lawrence.
I think the Ravens. It's going to be a battle. I think it's going to be between them and Cincinnati. Like I said, between Cincinnati and Baltimore, I think they got the two toughest schedules out of the division. The key thing, I think, with them is I think Ed Reed is hurt right now, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think I don't think him missing is going to be as impactful as Polamalu missing last year. I think it's going to make a difference, but I don't think it's going to hurt them as much.
Yeah.
But on the offensive side of the ball, I don't think it's so much about Joe Flacco, but I think it's more about Ray Rice. I mean, the cat is a beast. He could run hard, and he could he could catch out the backfield.
Yeah.
So I think
they're pretty set at running back.
Yeah. So I think it's real, like, it's going to revolve around him, and that's going to be like the key thing.
Yeah. My concerns about them is I think their defense is kind of getting kind of old, and I think their defense is a little bit overrated now. I'm not as high on them as a lot of people are, really, and mainly because of their schedule. I think once we break that down later, I think they could possibly miss the playoffs. Not to say I think the Steelers may end up with a better record than them, but I think the Ravens are a better team because I think the Steelers' schedule is a little bit easier. But let's talk. What are your thoughts about the Ravens?
I haven't finished in the second. They have some question marks in the second. I think Ed Reed is a huge loss. If he's not able to, if he's out for an extended period of time, that's a huge loss. I think it's worse.
What school did you go
to? But anyway, yeah, it's a huge loss. That makes the key to their season, really the key player of their season is Terrell Suggs. If he can apply pressure on the quarterback on a consistent basis, he only had like 3 sacks last year. He needs to improve on that and put pressure on the quarterback, so to help compensate what the secondary is lacking. It might be I think it's one of the worst secondaries in the league without Ed Reed. It's basically a bunch of Bay Area rejects and special teams players. You got Walt Harris, he's formerly the 49ers. You got Fabian Washington formerly from Oakland, and then they got another, and Chris Carr, he's formerly from Oakland too, but he's been mainly throughout his career he's been a special teams player. Yeah. And Chris Carr,
like 90.
Chris Carr and Fabian Washington are the 2 projected starters, so that tells you right away.
Yeah, they do the pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, they need help there. Ray Lewis, that defensive line, they'll stop the run. They've gone, since like 2006 without letting allowing a 100-yard rush until later this past year. So they're solid on the D-line and, in the interior, stopping the run, the secondary. A lot of teams are going to exploit the secondary.
All right, that was our preview of the Ravens. We're going to take a break and we come back. We're going to make our predictions record-wise in the AFC North. Who's going to win it? Which team has a chance of maybe getting to the Super Bowl? And and I guess we'll pick an MVP for the division for this year when we come back.